Hey, it's Coach Smith. In sports, athletes are coached for strength, speed, agility. They're trained to develop their skill set and understanding of their game. But unfortunately, they're not trained to develop their mental, emotional, and leadership skills and abilities. Yet it's these skill sets that become more and more critical as you climb higher in sport. It's these mental skills that separate athletes from their competitors more than any other factor. So why aren't they coached? Well, it's because oftentimes coaches aren't developed in these areas, or they just don't have time, or they simply don't realize the importance of it. I often say that championship level people make championship level athletes, or simply put, great people make great athletes. These mental skills need to be front loaded, because if they're front loaded and taught before other things such as physical skills, then an athlete has a better foundation upon which to grow in all the other areas of their sport. They're going to get more out of their training if they're trained with leadership skills, mental resilience, emotional skills. So here's some questions to determine whether or not you're a candidate for this type of mental skills training. Do you or your team struggle with how to deal with failure or adversity? Do you need a stronger, more resilient, mentally tough mindset so that when things go wrong, you're challenged to get better rather than being bitter? Do you have specific strategies and plans for how to manage the crippling effects of fear or performance anxiety? What about buy-in to your sport or team? Do you need to elevate the level of your commitment or your team's commitment and engagement to the sport or team? What about leadership? Are you a master leader of others? Are you a coach-led team or a player-led team? Because championship teams are player-led rather than coach-led. But you need to have specific skills and strategies and systems in place to develop the leadership on your team. Because let's face it, most people don't know what leadership is, why it's important, or how to go about being an effective leader. Do you have effective tools to develop yourself as a leader? Do you even know what leadership is? Do you know why it's important? Do you have evaluation tools to determine the level of the leadership of yourself or your team? And do you have a specific plan to develop your or your team's leadership in sport and ultimately in the game of life? What about legacy? How would you like to leave a legacy on your sport that lasts long after you're gone? If any of this resonates with you, then I'd invite you to join me for this deep, immersive learning experience on how to become a three-dimensional competitor, one who's capable and has tools to elevate themselves, first dimension, how to elevate others, become a leader, that's the second dimension, and how to leave a legacy on your sport long after you're gone, that's the third dimension. It's been said that it's better to read 10 books 10 times than 100 books one time. And that's why I've created this companion course. I wanted athletes and coaches to walk away with new knowledge and skills that was permanent, that was sticky, that they could implement the knowledge and strategies immediately. While I'm not suggesting reading this book 10 times, I am suggesting that you read it with the companion guide, with the student guide, so that learning is deeper and more permanent. I'm suggesting that this course will allow you to reflect on past experiences, to answer questions, to think creatively about the content as you learn it, so that you can apply it to your life right away. The content that you'll learn in this course contains much of the same content that my partner organizations have taught 8 UFC champions, 4 Cy Young Award winners, Olympic champions, major college university programs such as Oregon, Auburn, Alabama, and Florida State, professional organizations such as Major League Baseball, the NBA, the NFL, and the PGA. So whether you're a coach interested in moderating this course for your team or an athlete wanting to grow yourself individually, here's what you can expect. Each participant will receive a book, a companion guide or student learning guide. If you're a moderator, you'll receive a moderator guide with answers. You'll also be able to follow along in a course that's moderated by me, either on a computer or on a free downloadable app at the App Store or Google Play. So take the first step in becoming a three-dimensional competitor, one who is equipped to elevate yourself, others, and sport, and get started today. We'll get your book and learning materials in the mail right away and get you set up with the online tools as well. Yours in success, Coach Smith.